Right now at 6, Weed on Wheels, the car that's turning heads in one community and landed 2 people behind bars.
And help for healthcare workers as they struggle to keep up with demand.
Timing out some rain for tonight, and there could be some icy spots, especially in the hills. We'll time it out for you.
Rescue crews out on the ice, the practice they're getting tonight to help save lives.
Plus, the countdown is on to the big game.
5 days until the Super Bowl, and Connecticut breweries are getting ready. I'm Julia LeBlanc, and coming up, we'll give you an inside look at their operations.
Plus, an expensive bill for local restaurants, the fight to keep up with rising prices.
Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on the news at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. We begin with a story that's raising eyebrows in the Naugatuck Valley.
A van filled with pot was peddling the product at a Walmart parking lot. The illegal operation was shut down following complaints from customers.
Fox 61's Matt Karen live in Naugatuck with more on what we know about this incident. Matt.
Yeah, that's right. Well, remember here that marijuana is a relatively new industry when it comes to the recreational sale. Just started about a month ago. And this is really a reminder that just because it is now legal to be sold on the recreational market doesn't mean that it's legal to be sold everywhere by just anyone. Nothing screams arrest me quite like a graphic-wrapped mobile marijuana dispensary.
It's pretty blatantly obvious what they were soliciting, what they were selling.
So it must have been like a traveling pot truck, basically. That's crazy.
So Naugatuck police obliged, taking Stanley Livingston of Bridgeport and James Brown of New York into custody for selling the marijuana and CBD products from the parking lot of the Naugatuck Walmart. They are charged with money laundering, among other things.
With it being legal and everything now, I thought something like this would eventually happen. I just didn't think it would be this early.
The Rollaholic mobile dispensary van had Connecticut plates, and the phone number just rang and went to voicemail that wasn't set up.
Well, that's a dead giveaway. I think that's absolutely insane that someone would be doing that in a Walmart parking lot.
Friday marks 1 month since legal recreational sales began, but sellers still need to be licensed and permitted. The Connecticut law doesn't allow any weed to be sold out of mobile vans.
With anything new and anything that's starting out, obviously just double check and do your homework to make sure that you're getting your products from a legalized place.
The town of Naugatuck told Fox 61 that while they obviously don't condone illegal activity, they welcome the legal industry and just created zoning rules to regulate it, including not allowing retail shops within 500 feet of each other or any schools, playgrounds, or parks.
I liken it back to what it was like in the 40s and the 50s when liquor started being out there with stores and whatnot, in bars and restaurants. Who knows what the cannabis is going to be in the future, but it is here. You can't prevent it from coming into your town, even if you banned it.
And there are some reports online that vans nearly identical to this one with the same graphic wrap and those Connecticut plates have been seen in New York, also selling their product there, in some cases very close to school zones. And as for those 2 men who were arrested, well, they'll appear in court next month, but they have since been released on bond. For now, we're live here in front of the Naugatuck Police Department. Matt Karen, Fox 61 News.
Thank you, Matt. New tonight, the city of New Haven seeing a spike in overdose deaths. The city reporting 12 fatal overdoses since January 25th, which is significantly higher than the usual average of 2 per week. Officials believe the drugs involved, including crack cocaine with a suspected mixture of fentanyl. They say 3 of the overdose deaths happened in New Hallville and 4 in the Hill neighborhood. Residents who use drugs are encouraged to bring in any substance for testing at the Yale Community Healthcare van on Congress Avenue. No questions will be asked. The van's open Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 3:30. The city of Waterbury also reporting a recent spike in overdose deaths. The health department posting on Facebook a warning that fentanyl is being mixed with all street drugs. Residents being advised to call 911 immediately if you suspect an overdose, and if you know someone who might be struggling with substance abuse, you can call the health department for more assistance. Well, many in the medical field calling on the state legislature to address what they call a critical healthcare workforce shortage here in Connecticut.
Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfhorst joins us in studio now to explain what they want done. Emma.
Jen, Ben, two events going on today, both trying to address this issue in the healthcare community. The legislature's Higher Education and Employment Advancement Committee held a public hearing on multiple proposed bills to bring in and retain employees, while long-term care workers held a rally pushing for higher pay.
We are in a caregiving crisis in this country, and it will only get worse if we don't do the right thing.
Tuesday, federal and state lawmakers calling to address worker shortages in healthcare.
We find ourselves today in a critical situation where we need to take some intensive action.
Medical professionals, advocates, and lawmakers pushing the state legislature to act on what they say is a growing problem.
I lost my apartment in December due to our wages.
The phones are ringing every day, every minute. There's not enough staffing to answer the phones to help our community.
I have no time with my family because I have to work and I have to take care of them.
Multiple people spoke in support of 3 bills at Tuesday's public hearing to create a debt-free college program for workers in healthcare, a student loan forgiveness program for graduates who pursue careers in healthcare, and conduct a study about workforce development issues in the state.
We're going to take every opportunity we have to get in front of the legislators and to highlight what we think are the solutions to both retaining the talent we have and growing it for the future.
25. And advocates say another solution to retaining and attracting workers, increasing pay.
When y'all go do that budget, y'all take that pen, y'all include us.
And those 3 legislative proposals still need to make their way out of committee, though proponents say there is enough support. As for increasing pay, it's highly unlikely this will be in Governor Lamont's budget presentation tomorrow, but some lawmakers already raising a bill to allocate about $300 million towards state-run group home workers. Ben, Jen.
Emma, thank you. We are following developing news right now, a 3-syllable word right at the center of a debate across the country and now at the state capitol. Latinx, a unifying or offensive term. Depends on who you ask, but 6 Democratic House members find it offensive and want it banned in state use. Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez joining us live right outside the state capitol now to explain. Samaya?
That's right, Ben. They want it banned in all official government communication, but not everyone is on board with that plan.
We're in America where we have to fit in these boxes.
A debate exclusive to the United States, where U.S. Census data predicts Hispanics will become the largest minority, making up 24% of the population by 2045. Yeli de Leon is part of an academic professional group that embraces the term.
Right now the name is Latino A, AOA, and I think that's inclusive for what the network entails. But when we have webinars and when we are doing things, we always say Latinx.
On her first day in office as governor of the state of Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders banned the use of Latinx.
Her motives may not be the same as mine, but she did put in one of her pieces of why she did it was that it was offensive to many Hispanic-speaking constituents.
Rep. Geraldo Reyes of Waterbury is among 6 Democratic legislators sponsoring a bill that would ban the gender-neutral term Latinx in all government communication. He says they all agree Latinx is offensive and the word Latin is sufficient and gender-inclusive.
We want no group out here to think that the Democrats are being exclusive. We just want a word that's created by Spanish people, that's accepted by the Hispanic community, that is not a derivative of somebody just throwing an X on a Latin word.
Most of the lawmakers proposing the bill are baby boomers with a millennial exception. Some argue Latinx is embraced by younger generations. De Leon says seeking to ban Latinx is not a forward-thinking move.
It is regressive and it's not what the state of Connecticut should be doing at this point.
And at this stage, this is just a proposal. It would have to clear committee before moving to the House for a full vote. We're live in Hartford. Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61 News.
All right, Samaya, thank you very much. Well, turning to the weather now, another nice day out there.
Yeah, the sun felt pretty good. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Hi, Rach.
Hi, we are awaiting some rain for later tonight. This will come in after around 8 o'clock or so, and there could be a brief area of mixing or icing, especially in some of the higher elevations of northern Connecticut. We're quiet across the state right now, but this is the front that we're watching, and there is plenty of activity to the north of us, and that's where you'll find a winter weather advisory in effect. None in effect for Connecticut, where we are not expecting as big of an impact, but where it's 33 in Willimantic, 31 in Waterbury, 32 in Torrington. These are the areas where things could be a little bit slippery before temperatures rise overnight. Here we are at 8, 9 o'clock, starting to see some of that precipitation beginning to fill in. And again, where you see the pink shaded areas, I think this is a little bit too far south, but again, as you head up in elevation where there's some cooler areas, briefly some slippery spots. This is out of here as we head towards midnight. Valley areas, most of southern Connecticut, the shoreline, just seeing rain out of this, and we should be okay for the Wednesday morning commute. It's really just a concern for later tonight. Maybe you're out driving around 9, 10, 11 o'clock. That is going to be the biggest window there. Temperatures will hold steady as we head towards daybreak. They might even climb a few degrees. We're going to start off tomorrow morning mild because this is the average high temperature for this time of year, mid-30s. As we head through the afternoon, plenty of sunshine, high temperatures in the upper 40s, and a clear evening ahead. More rain to time out for you on Thursday, plus record warmth. Your full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. Well, in about a half hour, Ram High School is holding a community meeting after a racially charged message was found in the bathroom. School officials say the message is carved with thin lines and appears to have been there for a while, so it's difficult to find out when it was written and who did it. This is, though, the second racially charged incident at Ram High School in recent months. A noose was found in the boys' locker room back in November.
Well, new tonight, prosecutors will provide the minutes from a federal grand jury hearing involving the Middletown man who's charged with killing his mother and accused in his grandfather's death. Nathan Carmen was back at a Vermont courtroom today. His lawyers say if the information was, quote, inaccurate or untrue, then Carmen may have grounds to get the indictment dismissed. The Department of Justice has said that they find fault with the defense's argument as to why the information should be revealed.
The Wallingford native accused of strangling her 3 children to death before attempting to take her own life was arraigned today. Lindsay Clancy was arraigned via Zoom from her hospital bed today. She's accused of strangling her 3 kids with exercise bands in the basement of her Duxbury, Massachusetts home before jumping out of the second-floor window. Clancy suffered several spinal fractures and is now paralyzed. Her defense attorney is saying that she was suffering from postpartum depression and was taking several prescribed drugs, including Prozac and Seroquel. Meanwhile, prosecutors argue Clancy planned the murders. She will remain hospitalized, and a judge has not set a bail amount, calling her a limited flight risk.